I'll keep this. His hand is very good, but weak to Nissa. Surprise, surprise. Not a fan of rares. I'll just say that. Do not care about the selfless card right now. I'll attack. I'm fine with the trade. Could also, I guess, represent Gather Courage here, but no, he just wants to trade. Yeah, that's fine. It's possible we wanted to keep that around for the Convoke on Siege Worm, but okay, yeah, Bronze Sable's fine. Oh, that was a good draw. Cedar Wayfinder, one of our best cards. And here I'll take a Forest. Play it. And I don't think I'm going to sack this Wall of Mulch end of turn because I have the Siege Worm. Depends on what he does. Looks like he's on an all plains draw this time. Oh, never mind. Yep, it's fine. Yeah, I'm going to keep the wall around, mostly just because it also blocks very well. Crippling Blight. I think I'm fine with firing that off right now. Pass it. Yep. Okay. So our draw matched up very well against his this time. And he's got a Living Totem as well. It's actually fine since we have the Flesh to Dust for his Pegasus at some point. But we're definitely just slamming Siege Worm here. That should gum up the ground nicely. And give us some insurance against Nissa if he comes down next turn. Or does he have Oppressive Raise? Ooh, that's pretty good. So he gets to attack us for 7 this turn. I mean, that's fine. We actually have a draw set up where we can actually just ignore the Oppressive Raise from here on out, as long as we're careful. Fixing Revoker. That's a pretty interesting draw. So we can Revoker, naming Selfless Cathar. Or we could also name Nissa. That's very interesting. I'm gonna feel pretty bad if I Revoker naming Selfless Cathar and he goes Forest Nissa. And there's a somewhat reasonable chance it's in his hand since he's on just one forest, so he could just be one away from it. The other alternative is just passing and then Flesh to Dusting his Sungrace Pegasus. I think that's what I want to do. Mostly just because I am afraid of Nissa and I don't want that to happen next turn. So I'll pass. The reason I'm not Flesh to Dusting now is that I'm... oh, there's that forest. I'm threatening Siege Worm being able to block by holding up mana for Oppressive Raise. So now he's only able to attack with this, and I get to Flesh to Dust. And I actually want him to play Nissa now because I have the Revoker. Here it comes. Oh no. It's a Convoke something. Perhaps his own Siege Worm. Alright. That's fine. So we will Revoker naming Selfless Cathar. He has no cards in hand, so I mean, if he draws Nissa, he draws Nissa, but this is the correct play. And can't really attack this turn. I'm just gonna have to hold back Siege Worm and attempt to trade. And I assume just sacking the wall of mulch end of turn. I could sack it now, but I like having it around as a blocker, so we will pass. Not loving my position, but oh, please don't be Nissa. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Gotta be kidding me. That's absurd. Well, we have to draw something now. Let's Wall of Mulch. That is some major BS right there. Off the top. Okay. What are we doing here? I think I'm just attacking Nissa. He'll trade, and then we can play Gravedigger post-combat to get the Siege Worm back. Then he still has the Nissa going. God, that's frustrating. Right after we played the Revoker, he ripped it off the top. I mean, I still think our play was correct. It's just really unfortunate draws that our opponent got there. But let's get in there, I guess. Right, paying mana. That is really frustrating. This card's so good. The only way we beat it is by playing both of our rares last game. And sometimes you just don't draw your rares and you can't beat theirs. C'est la vie. I assume he's just gonna... Oh, that's an interesting block. So Nissa's taking 2 trample. Was not expecting that block, but okay. Guess he just wants to leave a Siege Worm around. I would have expected him to just throw a bunch of stuff in front of it if he was gonna go that route. Oh wow, that was really stupid. I played Gravedigger thinking that Siege Worm was going to be in the graveyard by the time I cast it. So I guess I'm getting back Typhoid Rats. I could get back Wall of Roots or Wall of Mulch to try to dig to something else, but Typhoid Rats might end up being relevant this game, blocking all his massive guys, but unfortunately they all have trample, so yes, I'll use the ability. Not liking my spot here. It's going to be sending in a lot of trample damage this turn. Okay. Cannot believe he drew the Nissa. Why? This is the main reason why white and red, in my opinion, are 2 of the better colors, because they have such an aggressive tilt to them. And the rares in this format are so freaking powerful that you just, like, if you can't beat them, you just have to race them, which our deck really can't do at all. So it's kind of BS. He's sending in a bunch of stuff. Do I take this? Can I take this? Or do I have to double block? I think I have to take this. Because if I trade off the Revoker now, he'll regain access to a Selfless Cathar. And we need to survive at least one more draw step here. Or combat step here, rather. He drew Triplicate Spirits? Well, that's obnoxious. So now we're dead 10 ways to Sunday. Restock, what does that do? Nothing right now. We can get back into Ulcerate and a Crippling Blight. But Ulcerate just kills us, so that's not an option. if we attack Nissa with Siege Worm, we can put all 3 in front and she takes 2, so we'd have to send in the Wayfinder as well. Then we can play out our 2 guys, but he has too much trample damage that we can't block. I think we're just very dead. What can I do here? I can just play these 2 and pass. I have mana up for Oppressive Raise. I can go block here. I still don't have enough toughness to put in front of the Tramplers. I am just dead. Nissa is a pretty good card. And we lost to it. He played it all 3 games, so good for him. Really frustrating, but I think our deck was very good, and we would have gotten there if not for that top deck. So I'm going to chalk this one up to variance despite my better judgment, and thanks for watching.